Ladies and gents, welcome to a little video that I want to do about Nightclub DLC. Here about what we know, what we think, and what we hope. Yeah, I'm quite proud of that one, exactly. Here's what I want to do first. First of all, I want to show you what we already know and what is actually already in the game. Now, I'm using a mod menu to showcase that, and of course the first thing I want to show you is Bahamamamas West. This was and still is inside of GTA 5. You were able to access it through a little glitch with a fire truck and some questionable things. If I have some footage of it, I'll show on the screen right now as well, but you were able to get into Bahamamamas West in online as well, and this is what it looks like. It's been in the game for a very long time. And to kind of show you of what's going on within this whole thing, it kind of makes you wonder, how long have they been playing around with this idea and all that good jazz. I mean, there's even bathrooms. This thing is completely solid. It even was accessible through the front door if you slammed a fire truck in it. And there's also some other things that have been made public by Rockstar and also some leaks from Jan as well. Starting off, of course, with Rockstar giving some actual official information, saying Los Santos summer 2018 with the artist listed right there. Also tagging them on Twitter, which means like, hey guys, you can go and stalk them. This aligns with a Instagram post done by Tale of Us a few days before that, saying the exact same thing but in a slightly different graphic as well. So at first we thought that this was actually a leak that came out way too earlier, but it looks like it's actually more a marketing stunt, maybe from Rockstar's side or whatever, but it seems to be well planned as always. But this is of course all in line with the rumored Nightclub DLC that we're going to get. As far as that information goes as well, there's some more information on that too, because by the looks of it, Jan actually figured this out as well, and well spotted by him for sure, that the tiles that are in the image that Rockstar posted do line up with the ones that you see in Bahamamamas West. Because it says summer 2018, there would be one Tuesday in both June and in summer, because earlier he said it was going to be released in June. However, later down the line he came back to that saying the following: unfortunately, it's been pushed back to a later month, but the good news is that it's a fairly big update. Heard something about how they took the content of 2 updates to put it in one single one, which means that Nightclub DLC is going to be a very large DLC, probably something along the lines of like a gun running smuggler's run, at least the size of that, and nothing as small as we had with the San Andreas Super Sports Race DLC. So that is what we know, because we can, take Jan's word for the majority of stuff. Obviously, the stuff that he hears is pretty legit, but you still have to take it with a grain of salt, because stuff can always change. It's game development. Stuff gets delayed, stuff gets put out, some stuff doesn't. Jester Classic being a perfect example of that, because at first we thought it was going to release alongside the Cheburek and the Michele GT, but it didn't. So there you have it. Same thing with Transform Races as well. It was announced to be released on the 29th of May, ended up being released like a week later, which I mean is going to be Tuesday at this point, but regardless, that is for the fact. Now here's what I personally think that Nightclub DLC is going to look like, and obviously my hopes for it as well. What I personally think is that Bahamamamas is of course going to be a property you can buy. There are plenty of clubs around Los Santos. How I personally think that the Nightclub DLC is going to be, it's more than likely going to be along the lines of what we had, like a gun running and stuff like that. Probably a business type of update once again, with hopefully something that is different than we previously had, where you go into the nightclub, go to a laptop, start a mission, oh, let me go get some crates, bring it back to the nightclub, rise and repeat until it's full and sell it again. I don't think that would be something that the community wants. It's probably a real possibility that it's going to be a thing. I personally don't hope it's going to be, because there's plenty of things to do with the Nightclub DLC. Hopefully the missions are not going to revolve around going from A to B just to get a bunch of condoms for those horny bastards in the nightclub. What I personally hope is that they're going to take a lot of inspiration from the nightclub stuff that was in the Battle of Gtamen. You had those nightclub jobs as well that you could do. Just something that is not the same thing we've been doing for a little while, like with the contact missions we had released earlier this week as well. It's kind of the same as we've already been doing, so I'm hoping that for what is more than likely going to be the last, big DLC. I mean, obviously there is another big DLC coming after this as well, apparently, for what we can hear from Jan, but it's all rumors and speculation. But until Red Dead, this is more than likely going to be the last big one. Because another thing you have to keep in mind is that with nightclubs, you can either go one way or the other. You could go all out and say, hey, you can dance on the dance floor and like rack up money that way and have dancing competitions and whatnot. But I feel like that's probably going to be used like 2 times and then people are going to stop doing it because it doesn't pay enough. And the nightclub missions themselves, I just really hope they're going to be maybe revolved around like biker contracts that we had in the biker clubhouse. Because that, to me, feels like it's something fun doing, rather than doing the resupply stuff we've been doing for the past few big DLCs, if you don't really count Doomsday Heist. Hopefully Rockstar realized after Smuggler's Run that people were kind of done with doing that type of missions, and hopefully they're going to be more focused on actual gameplay, rather than just waiting and have income being generated that way. I feel like there's a lot of potential for Nightclub DLC, but in a way of also wondering what exactly they're trying to do with it. Mainly because in the back of my mind I realized that the mission type that would be perfect for a Nightclub DLC would be getting supplies for your nightclub and nothing really else. Unless they're actually going to do proper missions and say, hey, there's this guy causing trouble in your nightclub, go play a bouncer and kick him out of your nightclub. I think that type of stuff is more than likely more single player orientated rather than in multiplayer. But then again, you could also potentially have, mini games or whatever, where you have to defend your nightclub against other players. It's that type of stuff that is all possible. But as always, the Rockstar does what they want to do, and they'll find a way to either surprise us or disappoint us depending on who you ask. But at least if we don't like any of the Nightclub DLC gameplay stuff, we'll have another radio station to listen to, which might also be exclusive to the nightclubs. We don't really know anything about that as well, so it's all rumors and speculations, but I figured it'd be interesting to see what you guys think as well with the information that we do have and the thoughts that go with mine. So of course, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all later.
Ooh, a like on this video or I cut your arm off with a spoon or a fork.